I'm back. Welcome. Oh, we can't even start that. Wow. What an intro. Welcome to The Price is Right. I'm your host, Funny Man Stevie K. No, this is not The Price is Right. I'm sorry if you tuned in and were expecting The Price is Right. Why did I play an extended version of the intro to the theme song? And why am I holding this timpani stick up as a microphone? I'll tell you why. Today is none other than Mr. Bob Barker's birthday, 99 years young today, December 12th. Happy birthday, Bob. Whoa, that's a big one. 99. I think he's going to beat Betty White. He has now tied her. Of course, Betty did not make it to 100, just shy. So Bob just turned 99 today, so he's still got a year to go. Don't worry, Betty. I'm sure Betty's somewhere up there, hoping Bob gets blasted by a truck in the next year. But welcome to the Steve Squared Show. And you remember he had those long microphones? Those really long, thin microphones back in those in his shows. I used to love those microphones. I thought they were fantastic. All the game show hosts. My mom watches a lot of those. The game show channel. I'll always, whenever I'm there, I see her watching the game shows, and they always have the long, thin mic. And on those old game shows, those I love those microphones. The Match Game and all the crazy game shows of those times. Gene Rayburn, you remember Gene Rayburn used to have the thin mic with the Match Game, and of course Bob Barker. Now Bob Barker, he started off, I think Truth or Consequences or something like that was the first show he did. Then he moved on to The Price is Right, did it for 35 years. I think he just finished in like 2007. He's also a big advocate of the pet thing. He always says, get your pets neutered. Remember he used to say that at the end of every show? I'm not sure why he ended every show saying that. But boy, I was shocked. It was all over social media today. Happy birthday, Bob Barker. 99 years old, young. It's fantastic. And his wife says he takes one medication, just a thyroid med. That's it. He's fantastic. He's in great shape. I think they should bring him back to host the show. It would make it a lot better than that other guy. I forget the other guy with the glasses. Oh, I don't like him. I'm not a big fan of his, but I like Bob Barker. He was in he actually made a cameo in one of my favorite. I'm done with the mic. He made a cameo in one of my favorite movies. How I Got Into College, because the guy's dream was to roam the country with Bob Barker and the beautiful model girls that would have and travel the country with unclaimed game prizes. It's fantastic. Hold on a second. I want to cue up something else too that's going to tie into our theme today. And what is our theme? We never really have a theme, but we're going to get a theme for you. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can get a theme for you. So anyway, oh boy, how was your weekend? Did you guys have a nice weekend? It's a little cold today for Monday, but this is what it is. We're at that time. And hold on. I'm trying to see. If I can find that for you. Yes, I'm at the spot. Good. Okay, I'm going to cue it there, put it up, get it ready for you for our next segment. Anyway, so did you do any Christmas shopping this weekend? I did none. I refused to do any Christmas shopping. All I did do was tell my siblings what I didn't want. I'm laying the law this year. Look, I appreciate anything. But my brother has started this thing where he gets me these cases of Celsius, which is a wonderful gift. Let me not be someone who's, not appreciative. It's a wonderful gift. It's showing that he understands what fuels me, what gets me going. They get me. So, but I have tons of this Celsius. So I was like, you don't have to get me another. He always gets me a case. I said, you don't even have to do that. Don't worry about it. And then I talked to my sister because she had let it slip, and I wouldn't have known this, and I wouldn't have said anything, but she let it slip. She said that she had gotten me another case of cologne. Now look, I like to smell nice just like the next guy, but I'm a trainer. I don't really go places, and the cologne is very expensive, and I felt awful. Plus, I have 3 unopened bottles. It would take me 30 years to get through this cologne. I mean, it's not like I'm going out. It's not like to Studio 54 in 1981, okay? Dousing yourself with cologne. By the way, excuse me, it's a wonderful cologne. Fierce Cologne by Abercrombie & Fitch. Wonderful cologne. By the way, welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I'm your host, Funny Man Stevie K, coming to you solo tonight from a remote location, but we do have the Govs radio sign, as you can see. Just so you can see, you know where you are. It's that comfort that you always know you're always safe here with me. Why don't we try a little Celsius to get the show going? So did you do any Christmas shopping? Is it bad out there? How are the lines? Why deal with it? I'm telling you, send people, shop online, stop this nonsense. We did do a little Christmas tree shopping. That was okay. That wasn't too crazy. Got a Christmas tree on the wreath. We did that. It's funny. I was watching last night. You know how I love the History Channel, and I was watching Toys That Built America. I always loved the history behind these great toys, inventions, foods, whatever it is. I like to know where it came from. I'm like that. I'm a history buff. So they were doing Christmas toy crazes. And the big toys at Christmas time, this started this whole madness. And I was saying actually to my mom, I was saying, I don't remember any more of these Christmas crazes anymore, right? Back in the day, they were talking about it on the History Channel. The first one was the Cabbage Patch Doll. So the Cabbage Patch Doll, right? Remember that stupid, ugly doll from the 80s that had that punched-in face? It looked like it was an inward face. And just for some reason it appealed to America, and it went nuts. People were killing each other for these Cabbage Patch Dolls. After the Cabbage Patch in the 80s, 2 came out in the 90s. There was Tickle Me Elmo, stupid. And then the Beanie Baby craze. You remember the stupid Beanie Baby craze? Everybody had to have a Beanie Baby. And the thing with the Beanie Babies, which differentiated it from Tickle Me Elmo and Cabbage Patch, was the Beanie Babies was more of a status thing to have and make money off it on the resale, right? You wouldn't take the tag off. And the guy, T.Y., Ty, was the guy's creator's name. He would do this little slimy trick saying, we're going to each Beanie Baby was a different character. And he would say, I'm going to retire this Beanie Baby, whatever it was. Lizard Beanie Baby, is going to be retired. And people would go on a mad craze. And this is also coincided beautifully, like a perfect storm, when the internet came. And eBay was the first commerce online that you would be able to find something you wanted, right? You didn't have to run to 20,000 stores. You'd find something. And all of this insanity brought rise to Black Friday, and of course the demise of many a poor store salesman that had to open the door and get trampled on to their death. Because all beautiful stories that starts with a cute doll should end with a trampling of a poor guy making $11.22 an hour. Could you imagine going out like that? That's terrible. It's just so sad. It's just terrible. That's not the way to go. Anyway, so those were the toy craze. I don't think there are anymore because I think it was a more simpler time where you would rally behind a doll. Nobody rallies behind a doll. The nearest thing could be the next iPhone coming out, right? The iPhone 49. It launches missiles at another country, so I have to have that. Other than that, there is no urgency, right? You can get whatever you want on Amazon for the most part, unless you don't, you need that's all you need, right? Now, I want to get into this next story. I think we're going to have Jeff call in today. He's been calling in with our movie review. He doesn't really have a movie review per se, but he does have something we will discuss. I'll tell you another funny story. My dad's a pip. We go, my dad has been bugging me. He's like, we got to change. In my parents' house, they have this big chandelier in the entranceway. He says, come by, let's go to Ace Hardware, we'll get some bulbs, get up there, change the bulbs, anything that involves high extended ladders, the holiday time can only end in a disaster. It's a recipe right there, right? You want to just try to go through the motions to get to December 25th in one piece. Not my dad. He needs to put me on a ladder. I mean, there's always something, right? Years ago, we had squirrels in the attic. We had to roam around looking for squirrels. There's always something pre-holiday time to kind of see how much trouble we can get in before Christmas. So my dad we get on this, I get on the ladder. I change the bulbs. I'm very proud. We did that project together. Now, the only problem is the living room now looks like a dental office. The lights that my dad got are so bright. The only thing brighter would be in an Afghanistani interrogation room. If you want to have nobody, the light shining here, you'd give up everybody. If that light was shining on you, you'd give up all the secrets to the country. That would be it. Just that hot white bulb on you. Done. Over. What do you want to know? Here are the plans. Here's the secrets. Let me out of this room. So my dad knows this is a problem, and he right away recognizes it because you would recognize it from the moon. I mean, our house is now lit up more than Chevy Chase's on Christmas Vacation. Which, by the way, have you been tired of seeing that movie? They're replaying not only A Christmas Story, right? They used to replay. This has become the new thing now. Is not only A Christmas Story replays over and over again, and we know it will do that on Christmas. But they're doing all the movies, or the go-to movies, Christmas Vacation, For Christmas. All these movies are on a loop now, and it's getting a little much. And there's so many Christmas movies. Why show the same four? I saw a little bit of A Year Without Santa Claus, some Rudolph stuff, but, they're really just pounding it. And I still haven't seen It's a Wonderful Life anywhere. So who knows? I will get into, I'm going to hold off for the story I really want to get into, because Jeff will be calling in a couple of minutes. But one thing, I remember I was telling you there was the Best of Long Island. We had the Best of Long Island. And we were very excited about the Best of Long Island. Remember, it came out, here it is, the Best of Long Island, and it was voted on by you, the fans, the audience, the people of Long Island, the little people like you. And you picked your favorite comedian, your favorite this. Now let me really give you an inside scoop on how this nonsense works. It's really who's nominating themselves and then can go out and get the most people to vote for them. So they're pounding on Facebook. They're pounding vote for me because I have gotten people asking me to vote for them. And I refuse to do it. I say, no, you're not going to get my vote that easy. I just came out of election time in November where I was getting bamboozled by politicians trying to get my vote. I don't need comedians, auto shop owners, and bartenders asking me for their vote. I don't want to vote anymore. I'm done. Stop asking me. I don't want no more signs on my lawn. I don't want any Facebook messages. Don't Instagram me. Nothing. I don't want to see your TikTok video on why you're deserved as the best whatever on Long Island. I don't care. But I did want to share this with you. There is, and I know you're all very interested in this, Shira. Let me give you a close-up of Shira right there. Wonderful. She looks fantastic. Shira has been voted the best psychic on Long Island. Very good. She is the best psychic on Long Island. So you don't want to get a bad psychic. You want to get the best psychic. You don't want to get somebody that goes, you might get hit by a truck tomorrow, but you could be okay. I want someone to tell me, don't go on that road. You go on Sunrise tomorrow, you'll get hit by a bus. She'll tell you that for sure. Don't get somebody that's a little ambiguous on that. You don't want vagueness from your psychic. She's solid. This is solid. This is your psychic medium right here. Shira, she does group parties, so she can read a whole room for you. This is good. She's the medium you must see. She'll even do Skype readings. She'll Zoom your future. I don't understand this. How do people make a living out of this? You got half the workforce out of work, and she's making a killing. Is this what people have money for at the holidays? Is trying to reach some long-lost dead relative from the 1800s? It loses my faith in you people. It does. I'm sorry. I have no faith anymore. If this is what you're voting on, best psychic? Come on. What's next? Best haunted house? It's terrible. You're better than that. I know you are. I believe you are. I believe you are. I hope you are. Hey, it's day 162 of the hair watch. What do you think? I still haven't gotten a haircut. I refuse until I can get some kind of handle, not only on my hair, but on who I'm going to go to for this haircut. I told you before, I'm already having the problem. I have the two hairstylists. I like one better than the other. They both work the same days. I'm trying to see how, I want one to get that day off, the guy I always go to, so I can go to the other person, the other girl, the other woman. I really like her. I really feel like she would do a better job. So this is what's happening to me because I'm afraid. Out of fear, this is the hair people have to endure when they see Funny Man Stevie K. And I actually don't mind it. I think it's a little bit of me. A little bit crazy, a little bit chaotic, right? I don't know. What do you think? It's getting there. It's I can move it around a little, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And since it's the colder weather, I can get away with wearing this. If it was the summer, I wouldn't be dealing with this because it'd be too hot. But you put this baby on. I got a lot of nice hats. If anybody's watching, I don't want any hats, scarves, mittens, gloves. None of it. Please, no jackets, no scarves. I don't want any of it. Nothing. I'd actually be better off with nothing. Hey, Kermit's doing a little better. Has one leaf that has an issue there, but overall, not bad. Not bad from Kermit. So, we'll see. Let's see what we got here. So, yeah, so that's, that'll be good. We'll work on that. Let's see what else. Okay. And, well, we wait for our next segment. Let me cue up this next thing. So, look at this. Bam. Right on the money. I like people that's on point. There we go. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, our movie reviewer, Mr. Jeff Zervos.
How we doing?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much. Hold on. Let me get your volume good so the world can hear you. Or who's ever listening. What's up, buddy?
Same old.
Same old?
Same old stuff, bro.
All right. Have you done, I was just talking about Christmas tree shopping and Christmas trees and all of that nonsense. Have you started any of that, or do you do that?
I think I'm going to skip the Christmas tree thing this year. I've just not gotten around to it. Usually I would do that like first day of December. It's getting too late in the month for me.
Why don't you do what Chevy did? And remember when Chevy Chase drove up into the mountains and he cut down his own tree? And he brought it back with a squirrel in it?
I might have the same luck.
I think you will. Knowing your luck with squirrels, I'm sure it would.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, I know there wasn't really any movies that you saw this weekend, so as our movie reviewer, you should feel ashamed and embarrassed.
I am. I'm horrible.
You have one 10-minute segment, one job to do, and he texted me earlier today, I hadn't seen anything over the weekend.
There's just nothing there that I'm really looking to go see.
It's true. There's very limited things. So what I saw a little bit of, I didn't see the whole thing, so I want to get your take, though, as a director. I did see on Netflix was Pinocchio, the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio. Did you ever see that?
I have not.
Okay. So now, as a side note, I was actually in the theater version on Long Island of one of the many terrible plays I was in across Long Island. I was the fire eater breather. I was the evil guy that was trying to kill Pinocchio. Yes, it was a really good part for me. I enjoyed it. So I feel like some directors. I watched it, and this is not the Disney version. Very dark version of Pinocchio. Very sinister. It's a very different look. Why? And I feel like, whether it's Quentin Tarantino or some directors, why do they put themselves first and the story second as a director?
Sorry, see, your audio's cutting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a bit better.
Okay. My question was, with the Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro, he does this really different version. It's really a kind of a staple of his work. You know it's him directing. And when Quentin Tarantino does a movie, why do some directors put themselves ahead of the story?
To be different. We talked about.
I just, you know what I mean? I feel like they're worried more about it being they directed it rather than the name of the movie.
Well, yeah, that's what some of them just do it. They want that recognition. They want people to say, that's a Tarantino movie. That's a Spielberg movie. It's just ego.
Yeah, I mean, it bothers. I mean, I guess I don't know if it bothers me, but I mean, this take on Pinocchio was just frightening.
Del Toro has really weird, odd, dark sense of storytelling. I don't really like his film because I just don't get him. I saw the trailer for this Pinocchio. I don't think it's something I'm going to be interested in at all. I don't get what he's doing. I don't understand him at all.
Yeah, I tried to watch it to give it a chance, and I watched about 10 minutes, and I just didn't like it. I think it's not for children, definitely, and it's he sets it in World War II. He has Pinocchio playing in like a war camp. Like it's just, it's not. I don't know what audience he's looking for, and what story he's trying to tell. I don't understand.
It doesn't. I don't get that any more than I understand Tim Burton. I don't get him at all.
Yeah, like a Tim Burton is always going to do his style.
Yeah, he's another one. I just don't go for it. I just don't understand what he's doing.
I watched a great. I don't know if you received it. I sent it to you. The master class of Ron Howard. I sent it over to you. He really understands and really talks about storytelling and how the story has to come first, and that's got to be the main focus. And I get it. directors are autistic and they want to put their spin on it. But why use Pinocchio as a vehicle to, to do that? Come up with something new.
Because that's what's going to get attention.
You're just retelling a tale, and so big deal. So you could put Pinocchio on Mars. Like, what's the difference? You could put him anywhere.
Well, yeah, of course. They just want the attention. Look what he did to Pinocchio. Oh, he did something so different to Pinocchio.
And I'll tell you, Jiminy Cricket didn't look much better either.
Oh, Grace.
It was terrible. You couldn't tell the difference. The idea is that Pinocchio's a puppet and he's not human. But you couldn't tell the difference of the characters. They all looked the same. Because it was they were using like this stop animation. And
I saw that.
Yeah, it just...
I'm really surprised he went with that style. That's like a really old technology.
Yeah, I don't know if he thought that would work with this because it's the idea, but it just, and he made Pinocchio look very strange. He made the cricket look everybody looked strange. And it was very dark, very sad. It starts off with Geppetto losing a son. I don't know. It was just in a bombing raid. It was terrible.
Next thing he's going to do is Snow White and the Civil War. That's what it's going to be.
There you go.
That's next.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll go see that. I'll be waiting for that to come to Netflix.
He's going to put Bambi somewhere in like out of Mongolia or Iraq somewhere.
Oh my God! It's unbelievable.
They're running out of ideas.
That's what I feel like. I just saw a commercial, a trailer for Puss in Boots. This is like the third Puss in Boots. Like, what are they doing?
They just don't know what to do anymore. They're rehashing such old stuff and making it just utterly stupid.
It's the stuff out there. There's no movie to see. It's really, really terrible. I think, but your movie, A Violent Night, was that what it was called? Violent Night, right?
Violent Night, yeah.
Came in second in the box office this weekend.
Yeah, it's still going strong. It's really.
I gotta see this. It came in right after the other one. That's was that a Marvel one? Wakanda Forever.
Oh yeah, Black Panther.
Black Panther is still out there, so that's going on there. I also watched.
Globe nominations.
What happened?
Did you see the Golden Globe?
I heard not all of them. Fill me in a couple of Golden Globes. Who got nominated?
So far, I've only seen one movie off this list. It's
Top Gun, right?
The Banshees of Inisherin got nominated.
Right.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, which is the only one that I saw off the list.
Okay.
Another one called, I think, Babylon, with Margot Robbie got in.
Okay. Babylon.
And two others that I just never heard of.
I think, wasn't Top Gun one or no?
No, Top Gun didn't get in. Although it just got released in theaters, though.
Okay. And Tom Cruise did not get nominated. I wasn't shocked at that because he gave his other 3 ones back to the Golden Globe. So I really didn't think they were going to nominate him again. He did that whole thing with, when everybody was bashing the Golden Globes for not being as, diversified. And, is that really the mountain to die on? That this stupid Hollywood foreign press, which is only encompassing 70 people who don't speak a word of English, is not diversified. Who cares? Is that going to make anybody's life better?
I don't get why they care at all.
You know what I'm saying? I hate when elite people or people of a certain stature try to think they just want to get patted on the back like they're doing something. They're not affecting anything by making another guy on the Hollywood Foreign Press diversified.
No, they're not helping. They just want to make it look like they've done something important.
Right.
You go buy their tickets to that movie.
Right. You're not curing anything. You're not making the world better. You're not getting people jobs.
Exactly. That's what it is.
It's just kind of silly. It's just like whatever. But So did the Whale get nominated for anything?
I don't think the Whale's even been released yet, has it?
No, but I thought that they said it would be. It was released this Friday in limited previews, and it's going to be worldwide December 21st. That movie starring Brendan Fraser should be really good. I definitely want to see that.
That's the only one I can think of that I actually want to see.
Yeah, for some reason they said it. Yeah, it would be included. Like, for some reason, I don't know how it would be. It was eligible. Maybe I don't know how they determine, because it's been playing in other countries and in other festivals. So maybe that's why. It's this is the Golden Globes. It's international, so maybe that it meets the criteria.
Well, let's see. So here's the list of nominees.
Okay.
Golden Globe 2023. Best Motion Picture: Avatar.
Avatar.
Not released yet.
Okay.
It's already got a Best Motion Picture. Elvis.
Oh, Elvis. Okay, Elvis is on there.
The Fablemans.
The Fablemans. The Steven Spielberg, of course.
Which I don't get because it wasn't.
Look, their choices are limited, Jeff.
I don't get it. It doesn't work. But whatever. Something called Tar.
Yes, I heard of it. I have no idea what it is.
And look, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I thought so.
They got the nod for best picture.
Okay.
Best performance: Kate Blanchett, Olivia Colman, Viola Davis, Ana de Armas, Michelle Williams.
Okay. What about males? Was Brendan Fraser in the men?
Yes, Brendan Fraser, Austin Butler, Hugh Jackman, Bill Nye, and Jeremy Pope.
Okay. All right. So Brendan Fraser is in the mix for the Whale. I always say this: anytime you either gain 400 pounds or lose 400 pounds for a role, you're winning an Oscar. Or you contract some rare disease. You're going for the art. You're suffering for your art. They don't want you ever notice a comedian or a comic never? People don't respect comedians. They only not at all. We get no love, no respect. Comedies never are a winner. They don't view it as anything, and it's very sad.
The last comedy, correct me if I'm wrong, the last comedy I can remember that actually won an Oscar was As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson.
Right. And that was more rom-com-y. They got away with it. It wasn't like a real, comedy. It had moments of drama. It was like a dramedy, rom-comedy dramedy.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies.
It's a good movie, but
that's like the last comedy film I've seen in the award shows in how long?
It is, and for some reason they don't recognize it as that, serious art form, because it's not serious, and I don't know why they limit the awards to that, and that's what they should do, is get a sense of humor. The award shows, instead of the same go-to actors and things. But, so Elvis got nominated, but not Austin Butler? Or did Austin Butler get nominated for the role of Elvis?
I don't see his name on this list anywhere.
Really? So the movie this is always confusing to me, especially in a biopic. The movie, Elvis, gets nominated for Best Movie, but the guy who played Elvis doesn't get nominated.
Here it is. Best performance by an actor in a motion picture, Austin Butler.
Okay, thank you. All right, so everybody calm down. Austin Butler was nominated.
He's in. He's all right.
So this is going to be tough, because
Brendan Fraser gets the Best Actor nod, but The Whale is nowhere to be seen.
Okay. That you can always sometimes see it go that way. I could see it go that way, where the actor maybe gets a nomination, but maybe not the movie.
Yes.
That could happen, but I couldn't see vice versa, where the movie gets it and the guy, especially a biopic, when he's in every scene, they're like, the movie's great, he stunk. He stunk.
Yep.
So, anyway, that would happen to a movie I would be in, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely, I'm sure it will.
Every year, this Steve Squared Show never gets nominated for anything. Nothing. Not a thing. Not Best Podcast, not Best Hat, nothing. Best Plant. It's crazy. But, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I wanted to stay tuned in, because I got a couple of funny bits coming up. that you're going to find interesting. I'll get your quick take on this. David Letterman, I don't know if you were a Letterman fan or not.
Yes, I was.
Okay, so now he's got this new show, Interviews with whatever it is, where he does these more serious interviews in a chair with a beard. Because
This guest needs no introduction.
Right, a big beard always makes you seem more serious. When you have one of those long beards, you're either serious or you're going to deliver gifts in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So it's one or the other. So Letterman now with this long beard, he travels to the Ukraine and it's on Netflix, to interview the president, Zelensky.
Oh my God.
So I'm just like, is Letterman? I mean, that's what I mean. Like, and the same thing, I love Howard Stern, but I feel like some of these guys, maybe they get bored of what made them famous, whether it was their comedy style of interviewing or Howard Stern, just a little bit more raunchier, and they want to go serious now or more political now. I don't know.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, just, people loved you and made you who you were because of what you did.
Yeah, I think it's time to let him to retire.
Yeah, like, he retired from his talk show to do another talk show.
Yeah, just go on your ranch and just...
And I watched a couple of them, and they're kind of boring, and he gets good guests, but that's not his style.
It's not. It just doesn't work. Not for me.
No, and
I agree.
It's like, I don't know. So it's not a big fan favorite for me, but that is for any of you. And plus, the interview is awkward because the guy doesn't speak English. Obviously, Letterman doesn't speak Ukrainian.
Oh my God.
It's always hard. They're trying to translate. It's just awkward laughing with bombs blasting in the background.
They're all jumping on the Ukraine train. I mean,
Hey, I like that, the Ukraine train. Well, I'll use that.
In the middle of a war.
I know. What do you do? Exactly. You're on the Letterman show. You're in the middle of a. What are you doing? So that bothered me, and of course Netflix jumps on that.
Of course.
Hey, let's see Letterman get blown up. This will be great. This will get great views. And unfortunately, I think he didn't. So that was that disturbed the ratings on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they'll send him somewhere else into some harm's way. Maybe the next thing he can interview is Kim Jong in North Korea.
Oh yeah, great. Send him to the PMC.
Send him right to North Korea, right on the nuclear missile site. Hey, Kim. Boy, is it cold over here. Anyway, I wanted to get your take on that, and I thought I knew what it would be, but all right. So this week, we're going to try to find something, a movie. When are the Golden Globes? Are they coming up? No.
They're not next year.
Oh, this is in January, February, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avatar opens this week.
Oh, Avatar, right. You'll have a review on Avatar. And that opens this weekend, and also, well, not till next week will be The Whale. That'll be December 21.
Yes.
So we'll get a feel for that. All right, man. Thanks for jumping in, and always a pleasure. Thanks for giving us the Jeff Zervo's point of view, the director's point of view, and.
We're talking about some Netflix and Amazon movies too.
Yes, we'll blast them next week. I'm always a fan to blast Netflix, Amazon, and all the rest of the streamers that take my $4.99, $5.99, $7.99 a month and deliver crap. I'm the only person that has 8,000 channels. I can't find one thing to watch.
I'm the same way.
That's why I'm writing Dumbbells, so I have something to watch.
Dumbbells, we gotta get that rolling.
Oh, it's rolling. All right, my friend.
Thank you, Steve. Have a good night.
All right, you too. I'll talk to you soon.
See you later.
Later. Hey, that was Jeff live. Now, I'm going to play you a little something. Yeah, like, Letterman goes to the Ukraine. He's interviewing this... It's on Netflix. Watch the trailer. It's ridiculous. What are you doing? Do the old Petrix, the stupid Petrix. That's when we loved you, with Paul Schaefer in the band. Come on. All right. So, hold on. I'm going to play something for you.
People outside the courtroom marching around with signs Justice for Lindsay! Justice for Lindsay! No job? You got nowhere to be on a Monday at 8:30 in the morning?
Yes, that was the great Sebastian Maniscalco. But that was from one of his other shows. That was not from the latest show that he has just done. It's funny. This past one, Is It Me? Is It Me was the Netflix special 2022. It was just released this week. I watched it. It was okay. It was just. I watched it. It starts slow. It does get better. He's got kids now, so he tells a lot of father-kid stories, which is cute. It's not as good as Stay Hungry. It's not as good as Are You Kidding Me? Are You Serious? You know, the real earlier 2010, 2012. Those are the ones. That was from one of the earlier ones. Are you kidding me? That was like 2012. Awesome stuff. So he was talking about when people are picketing outside courtrooms for celebrities. Like, what are you doing? That's the best thing you have to do with your life is run around with a sign. And if you noticed and listened, he was saying no justice for Lindsay, meaning Lindsay Lohan, when she had spent that time troubled in the courtroom. So how I always tie things together. Nobody puts things, wraps it up, puts a bow on it better than Stevie K. I'll tell you why. Because I introduced the Sebastian with that clip, and of course he delivered his special last night or a couple of nights ago. And Lindsay Lohan, who he is referring to in the clip, is also in the news. Yes, the great Lindsay Lohan is trending right now. She is doing a Pepsi ad. I don't know if any of you saw this. So it's this big Pepsi ad where let me set the scene for you. It's a Christmas living room. Nice, right? It's all cheery, the blue Christmas music, and someone comes down in their pajamas. You don't see who, and the Christmas tree. It's just the lights, beautiful, gorgeous, and there's a plate of cookies and a half of thing of milk. It was a milk, and the scene before it was Santa Claus, who it was only half a glass of milk, so he was upset he didn't get a lot of milk, and there was a can of Pepsi there. So he pours the Pepsi in with the milk, and has a Pepsi and milk. So Lindsay comes down and she says, "Oh Santa, you get this is a real dirty soda," and she drinks it, the milk and Pepsi, and they call it Got Pilk. Pilk instead of milk, Pepsi and milk. They're blending it together. They're so smart over at Pepsi. I mean, geniuses. Morons. So not only did they turn a wholesome, beautiful thing like Christmas into a filthy porn ad, because if you watch some of the videos, I mean, in that commercial she's wearing, I think, pajama pants, but there's some others where on TikTok where she's not, and it's the same outfit she wore in Mean Girls when they do that Christmas song when the Mean Girls are doing it. Very funny scene. That was a funny scene. I love Lindsay Lohan. People get blasted her. She had that legal troubles a few years ago. She was stealing things from stores. And who cares? I mean, she's great in movies. She's funny. She's good. Mean Girls was what's better than that. I mean, she's so many good things. Herbie was good. There was a movie I liked, I think, with Chris Pine, Just My Luck. Anything she does, she's very good in. She's kind of always plays that, silly, rom-com-y, ditzy, funny, sarcastic humor person. She's very good. I get her confused with Hilary Duff. Hilary Duff was in, Father of the Bride, a lot of those kind of things like that, and all her things. So they play very similar roles. So Lindsay Lohan is doing this commercial. If you get a chance, look it up. It's called Got Pilk. I mean, it's on TikTok, so everybody now is drinking the Pepsi with the milk. First of all, there couldn't be a bad or worse combination for your stomach. because when you put carbonated soda with milk, the milk curdles. So I'm sure after she took a sip, if she even took a sip, she puked it when the cameras went off. Second of all, she must have got a truckload of money because this is trending all over the world now. Everybody's doing people are so ridiculously stupid that this is now what they're focused on, is now posting themselves drinking milk with Pepsi. If these moronic, stupid people would even know their history, they know that Laverne, from Laverne and Shirley, the great Penny Marshall, started this. She was the one that would always have milk and Pepsi, right? She would always say, milk and Pepsi, right? And Shirley would always go, how could you drink that? That's gross. The great Cindy Williams. So just go back, watch an episode of Laverne and Shirley, and you are not originators, you are duplicators, Mr. Pepsi CEO, whoever, Mr. or Mrs., whatever. I'm such a Pepsi hater ever since I watched that show on Netflix, Pepsi, Where's My Jet? And they did that other slimy ad. But, I mean, I don't blame Lindsay. I mean, she's getting paid. That's a huge thing. And she's getting more relevant again. She was behind this, out of the spotlight with the legal problems, but now she just did I think it's a Netflix Christmas movie. Some homespun romantic comedy. It's on Netflix now. But that's, it's just a romantic comedy. Just rom-com-y love. It's all about love, right? But I thought that would be funny, playing that. But I feel like with the Sebastian Maniscalco, he was a lot, and this is with a lot of comedians, I feel like sometimes when they get big, they almost mail it in, because when you're coming as an audience to see a famous person, you want to like it. It's not even in your head that it's not going to be funny. You laugh just because it's them. And they can get away with that because they're at a certain level now. So, but I think if you really look at the material and the writing, his other 3 specials were way better. Way stronger, way funnier, way more physical. I think now he tried to be this Casanova, like he was wearing the tuxedo. He wanted to kind of be emblematic of the Rat Pack and the Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin guys. So he wore that. He was in Vegas. So his thing is being really physical. He's got a great John Ritter physical comedy about him. Which I like. It really shows the story and it's part of the humor. So he couldn't do that as much, and but it was still funny. If you let it roll a little bit, it was still okay, but definitely not as good. And I wanted to like it, but what are you gonna do? Now I'm flipping. Hey, here's a picture of her. There's Lindsay. See her? Whoa. Merry Christmas. What else? Oh, this is fun. Did you hear about this? Look what's made a reappearance on Long Island. If you weren't sure, look at this. Whoa. The skunks are back. Skunking back. This is amazing. Skunks are now seen on Long Island. They're making an appearance. It said here they were believed to have largely disappeared over a century ago. But in the last 5 to 10 years, they've been seen on the North Shore in areas such as Fort Salonga, which I have to go to tomorrow. Fantastic. I'll bring one home for the holidays. And in Smithtown, Comac. So more on the North Shore. They're more an elitist skunk. They like the North Shore. Who doesn't? I mean, please. If you're going to be a skunk in the more high-end areas. Forget about the South Shore. These are North Shore skunks. There was something I wanted to see here. Where was it? Hold on. Now, because I know I have a couple of nephews. Thank you. I have 2 nephews getting married on the horizon. My nephew's Kevin, my nephew's Daniel, getting married, wonderful brides, Caitlin and Grace. I don't know, somewhere they all 4 go together. I don't know if I said it in the right order. But anyway, I saw this Dear Amy thing, and it was about an upcoming wedding, so I thought it was apropos to do this, Dear Amy. It says here, Dear Amy, my fiance and I are planning our wedding. As the bride, I'm planning on making certain requests of my guests to make sure that my special day is as perfect for me as possible. You don't even have to go any further. If you marry this person, your life is doomed. Cancel the wedding from that sentence alone. To make sure my day is as special as possible for me. But let's read on, because I'm a glutton for punishment. For example, she says, I'm asking that my guests wear exclusively yellow at the ceremony. Well, I fit right in. No problemo. My fiancé has been supportive, wimp, but he angrily rejected my other request. That I have a second groom. No. That our guests remain silent throughout the ceremony and reception. Nobody's allowed to talk. So the focus remains on us. Oh my God. My fiancé said this is irrational. You think? He does not want to have a silent wedding. I mean, it worked for Charlie Chaplin. The guests are not permitted to speak at all during the ceremony, and only the toasts are allowed to be from the mothers of the bride and groom. Instrumental music will be playing quietly in the background. During the reception, she says, the guests may whisper, but may not speak aloud. I gotta see what the audible level is. I know it's a lot to ask, but I feel I should have the wedding I want, so that the start of our life together is an indication of what an enormous, self-centered, egomaniac-centric B.I. I am. I added that. I want him to support me, even if we disagree on something. Is my fiance's lack of understanding and support a red flag? Let me tell you something, honey. The red flag should be wrapped around your face. How you even got this guy to marry you. You should hold on to him with dog chains, for God's sake. Buckle this guy down, because after reading this, you're never going to find another guy. And if this guy is watching the Steve Squad Show, which, of course, what else would he be doing tonight other than getting muzzles for his guests? You might have to go online on Amazon and see how many muzzles you can get for a group of 100. Now, first of all, how many guests could they have? Who would be friends with such a person like this, that they can even rally guests to attend this nonsense? I mean, do you see the people that's out there in the world? This is all part of it. It's all part of that mix it's that powder keg that one day is just gonna explode. Don't drink Pepsi and milk, for God's sake. Please. Please don't do it. Don't drink Pepsi and milk. Huh? I like this other special, if you get a chance. The other two whiny people, the Brits. You know how I feel about the Brits. I'm a big fan of the Brits. Wink, wink. You know I'm not. This Harry and Meghan nonsense that they have on Netflix. I can't listen to people that are kings, queens, dukes, whatever you are. Whatever you are, you're not a commoner. You're not an ordinary folk. Get a Netflix special to whine how upset you are about being trillionaires. Wah! More whining from people. Who cares? You're upset because you had to get rid of your dukehood or your kinghood or whatever? You're doing fine. You must be doing fine. Because you don't have jobs. It's not like Harry had to, disregard, I'm disavowing my throne. Now he's working at Stop and Shop bagging groceries. He's not working with Steve at Starbucks as a barista. They're doing Netflix specials for $600 trillion. To tell about how whiny they are. I thought you wanted to be out of the public eye. That was the whole point. But you can't do it, can you? Because let me tell you something, these people can't. The only thing they can't survive without a camera shoved in their face. Right? They wanted privacy, but they had the camera shoved right in their face and their kid's face to say how they want privacy. Well, that's not privacy, my friends. That's celebrity, and you want that bad, and you know you do. So, that's also streaming on Netflix. Another whiny thing. Another whiny... Netflix is getting out of control. I want to start something where we all just get rid of these Netflix, Amazon things. Because I can't... There's not good content. Nothing is really enjoyable to watch. It's very upsetting. I can't find a good show to watch. What else do we have for you? Well, I don't know if this is a heartwarming story to end on, but it seems here the FBI has just arrested Samuel Bateman, no relation to Justin Bateman, one of my favorite actors. In Flagstaff, Arizona, it seems he was a polygamous cult leader. The leader of a small polygamous group. He wasn't a big one, just a small polygamous group. Near the Arizona-Utah border, where else, had taken at least 20 wives. He was a former fundamentalist of a church and broke off from the Latter-day Saints to form his own offshoot cult. He was supported financially, of course he was, and now he's being investigated. He was found with all these wives, and he had a big cult going on. Look, I thought these things were done, these cults. It seems they're making a comeback. The cult is coming back. I don't know what you're taking. Maybe, I don't know. Is it, the pot you're smoking? What would ever entice someone to join one of those fanatical leader cults? Is your life that bad that you need to go wear a bed sheet and sit on a lawn somewhere in the middle of nowhere under a blazing sun and be one of 35 wives to some guy that hasn't shaved since 1977? Or cut his hair? This is what you're facing here. At least I shave. And I'll get a haircut, don't worry. Don't worry. Please don't worry. I just don't understand it. It loses my faith in Americana when I read stories that people are still joining cults. And look, I don't know how expensive it is to join a cult, but go to your local library. They have a lot of events here. There's tons of events here. You don't need to join a cult. Go to your local library. Look, they got Tai Chi for free. These are wonderful programs. You don't need a cult or some divinity following. You take chair yoga Tuesday mornings, 9:30 for an hour. That's fantastic. The only problem I have with this, you see the library here is giving yoga, Tai Chi, chair yoga, wonderful things. But they're all virtual. So, isn't that just YouTube? Wouldn't you just be better off, instead of saying, well, I have to be in front of my computer at 9:30, you can YouTube that chair yoga class any time of the day you want. I don't understand. Isn't the whole point of having a timed class to be there? Now, I understand we all want to have our safety protocols, but things I would hope are a little better where you can attend a chair yoga class in person. Do we still need to do a virtual Tai Chi class? Because then it's just YouTube. Then it's just ridiculous. Then just YouTube it and be by yourself. You have to have a bad audio connection and hear some lady screaming at you from a library or her house? There's so many things that upset me. It's too bad I only have an hour show, because I could go on. It's 7:30 already, and I just peeked the surface of everything that bothers me. There's so many things. People joining cults, making bad Pinocchios, ruining Pepsi ruining Laverne DeFazio's Penny Marshall's legacy of being the princess of milk and Pepsi. Come on, Lindsay. Don't do that. And Pepsi. I'm not even looking at you, Pepsi. We looked at Sebastian Maniscalco. That, I would say, give it a look. He's very funny no matter what, and this was not his best, but give it a look. What else did we talk about? Oh yeah, if you're bored and you want to see Letterman go to the Ukraine, that's always fun. That's a good waste of an hour. And you could take some Zoom Tai Chi. Other than that, I think there's pretty much, that was pretty much the main points I wanted to go through with you guys. Again, make sure you water your trees. Keep your trees, because when you first get your trees, they're going to be really thirsty. So you want to definitely, also, my folks say this, and I guess it's true, you got to give them an aspirin. I guess the car ride home, the tree gets a massive headache. So you want to give them an aspirin. Just an aspirin, okay? Nothing stronger. Let's not turn the tree into some kind of attic. You don't want your tree to have the shakes a week in at home. I never gave Kermit an aspirin, and look how beautiful. I'm still concerned about these two leaves, but I think it's hanging on. A lot of the other leaves look green. We'll see how we're doing. Cross your fingers and your whole self, because there is a chance, a good chance, that we'll be in the studio next week, December 19th. That's going to be our Christmas show, our Christmas spectacular. I hope Steve is there. We're 7 days away from that. That's going to be the real cutoff deadline. Hopefully, like I said, shop online. Don't go into these crazy stores. Don't buy into this nonsense that they are trying to get you to go to these stores. There's no discounts. There's no specials. It's just all the same. The same nonsense. The same crap. They have a lot of nerve, these tree places, hiking the prices up exorbitantly to these Christmas trees to over almost $200. That's ridiculous. There's no sense of anything anymore. There's no sense of any kind of moral code about doing the right thing. Just with a smile on their face, labeling their crappy trees almost $200. I mean, seriously? We went with the Fraser fir. Beautiful. Nice feel. I'll give a shout out to the Broadway Nursery, which is where we got it. Very nice. They had some nice trees there. But whatever you get, whatever kind of tree you get, make sure you water it, take care of it, bring it into your house, decorate it nice. Don't over-gaudy your tree. Are you a tinsel person? Do you like the garland? You like just one color lights or a lot of different color lights? Well, make it your own. It's your piece of art. It's your landscape. You want to show it off. So have a wonderful week this week, and a nice, safe week. Watch some of the shows. I know Avatar is coming out this week. We'll talk about that next week. The Whale will be coming out, and we'll have a whole bunch of other fun festivities. I'll give you the outcome on what happens with those shining terrorist interrogation bulbs that we got at Ace Hardware. I'll see if they'll take them back. And I know you'll be hanging on pins and needles for the outcome of that one. That's another task I'm looking forward to. But anyway, what should we play you out? Can we play you out with this? I don't know. We got to always be careful, because there's a lot of things you have to watch out for when I'm playing. See, I was thinking of playing a little bit of Sebastian, but I got to watch out for that. I don't want to get blocked. I was going to play one of the Jiminy Cricket songs from Pinocchio, When You Wish Upon a Star, but I'll get blacklisted from that. So I'll play something quick, something easy for myself, for the Steve Square Show. Thanks for Jeff for coming on, talking about nothing but a little directing movie stuff. He's got to review something next week. I'm holding him to it. And for Kermit. And Steve, wherever you are. And the gang. And the family. Have a great, safe week. And we'll talk to you next week. And let's...